For more than 30 years, Boston teacher Karen Pekowitz lived with a lot of problems in her heart. Brad talked to her about her pacemaker, and we're going to take a look at that right now.
Good morning, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great, and you have an amazing story. So let's talk about what were some of the problems you went through having a traditional pacemaker.
I was a 19-year-old college student when this all began, and I knew I had an issue with my heart where the top and bottom chambers didn't communicate properly. There was an electrical block, and so I was given my first traditional pacemaker back in 1994. And it involves wires going through your veins, attaching to a battery and attaching to your heart to function. So there were always some concerns about the wires, that something could happen to them. They could either malfunction or crack or become infected. So these were the kinds of things that I worried about. And in fact, in 2001, one of my wires did crack and stopped functioning properly, and I had to have a new one put in. And the doctor said, "Do you want to remove the old one?" And I said, "I think someday we're going to have wireless pacemakers." And it turns out that I was right.
Wow, this is so great. And how has this changed your life to your day-to-day activity now?
Well, I have so much more energy. The new batteries will last 12 to 17 years, so there will be fewer surgeries needed, and the new surgery is much less invasive. It uses a catheter, so there's no cutting necessary. And I've noticed just so much more energy. I can have no restrictions in my exercise now. I can lift, I can row. I'm a teacher. I can get up and down the stairs and up and down on the floor with my students who are kindergarten to 5th graders, which requires a lot of energy. So I've just noticed a big change in my life overall. Wow,
this is so cool. And I know you mentioned a little bit like how it's changed, but how is this really helping people, I mean, now that we're having this different type of device to help save lives?
It's just creating much less worry among patients and families, because with the traditional wires, there was always the worry that something could happen and you would need to have them removed, and there's danger involved in having wires. So mine have all been removed safely now. Everything's out, and I just have the wireless devices, and they're very small. They're easy to take in and out, and people can talk to their doctor if they're concerned about whether they might be a candidate for this technology. I have the Avere DR, which is the dual chamber pacemaker, and it might be right for them.
Right. So let me ask you, I mean, with this new technology, how is it going to help others who have heart rhythm issues?
Well, they should speak to their doctor about their individual situation. In my case, it's really regulating my heart and taking care of me in a way that I don't even have to think about my pacemaker. It's just in there doing its job. So I think if people go and explain their situation to their doctor and say they saw this device and they're wondering if it might be right for them, they can also go on the website, which is cardiovascular.abbott.pacemakers, and they can read up on it. And I hope it'll help someone else to hear my story.
Wow, well, this is an amazing story, and I think it will help a lot of people who are a little worried about getting a pacemaker, and those who are getting a pacemaker. I think it's going to be amazing, and I thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
The preceding portion of the Arizona Daily Mix was sponsored by Abbott.